Welcome, lovely people. It's your boy R6 and welcome to Richmond's Media, where we give you quality content, entertainment news, geopolitical news, and what is trending around the world. Now, today we are heading straight to my home country. We are going to Ghana. Recently, Trump and Ramaphosa, the Oval meeting has generated a lot of controversial conversations. Even the Secretary of the United States of America has come out to respond to one of the journalists who asked a question, saying that the place where Donald Trump was saying that it is a graveyard for white genocide people wasn't as he claims. A lot of banter, back and forth was happening in the White House during that, interaction. We will go and see that video. The president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has also come out. Now he said that, let me quote, Trump's white genocide claim an insult to Africa's history. John Dramani Mahama. We will also dive into that. Now, there is this journalist that I have already done a video called Tsidi Madia. Tsidi Madia went to, Nations News, and this same question popped up, and the way this woman handled it, ladies and gentlemen, I was so touched. We will also dive into that. Now, coming back to John Dramani Mahama, I always preach about African uniting, and this is the first time that I have seen that one African president is standing in for another. And he is the first president to speak on this. He is the first African president to speak on this. We are preaching that Africans, we have to come together as a nation and unite. Now, we are not doing that. This is a situation where a United States of America President Donald Trump is using another screen grab picture. It was even a video. They have grabbed the screen and have screenshot the picture and using it as a genocide happening in South Africa. And as African president, you are there, you know what is happening is not true, and you are not standing in for your neighboring country.
Based on my own reporting in this region, and especially from 15 years in South Africa, a lot of what President Trump used to justify this persecution and murders of white farmers was just untrue, and this is another evidence. When I saw him hold up that picture, I thought it looked familiar. We now know, and Reuters is confirming, that this picture of body bags is not from South Africa. It's actually from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's from a mass burial in Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo on February 3rd. And the Reuters video journalist Jafar Al-Katanti, who took that video, was surprised to see the president hold up that picture. It's a screen grab that links to a Reuters video from that day. It follows a big assault on that Goma city in the eastern DRC by rebels named the M23, and that was the effect. A lot of people were killed on that.
We claim that we are African Union, but that is not how it is. You see the way Ukraine is fighting Russia, and the way the Europeans are supporting Ukraine to fight against Russia. You see what they are doing, and this is a situation where Donald Trump is condemning South Africa, claiming or saying things that is not even happening in South Africa. Instead of the African leaders coming out to say that, Donald Trump, you have to caution him, this is not what is happening. Instead of cautioning him, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. So the other African leaders, what are they doing?
Shut up, you. Shut up.
At least, even if it was true, and even according to what is trending, there is only about 2% white Afrikaners death in South Africa. I'm not saying that crimes is not happening. Crimes are not happening in South Africa. Every country there are crimes everywhere.
In the last 4 years, 225 farm attacks, 101 farm dwellers who are majority black, 55 farm owners who are majority white. So that is a period of 4 years, and that does not represent a genocide. But it is still unfortunate. It should not happen because any crime, it is a crime, and that's why the president then stated that we are dealing with a crime situation.
Every country, like everywhere, is not safe, but they are saying that even in quote, the white Afrikaners genocide is even about 2%. The white people dying in South Africa is 2%, and black people are the majority dying, but they are not talking about it. They are talking about the 2%. And crime is everywhere. The place that they have said it is a graveyard for white genocide or white people, white Afrikaners. No, that was just a ceremony. It was just one time thing. It wasn't like a graveyard for white Afrikaners. And even that one, that is the only video that we can say, okay, yeah, during that time white people died and they did a ceremonial for them. But apart from that, the number of white people dying in South Africa is about 2%, and the black people holds the majority.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that? It's not true. The video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that that video showed the crosses that represent
what the president claimed.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin. And those crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
The fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
Yamiche, what's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning.
So I don't understand why you will sit there for another country to shame your, you see, you call it African Union. Are we really united? Are we really standing in for one another? So yeah, if you go to the social media platform, everyone is applauding John Dramani Mahama, although a lot of Ghanaians are not happy because they are saying that John Dramani Mahama, you have to mind your own business before Trump put maybe 50% tariff on our exports. Like, you know, that's what Trump is doing now. So ladies and gentlemen, we will dive into what John Dramani Mahama said, and then you can share your opinion on this matter. President John Dramani Mahama has condemned US President Donald Trump for his unfounded accusation against South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, describing them as a deeply offensive to the people of Africa and a distortion of historical truth. In an opinion piece, President Mahama criticized Trump's assertion of white genocide in South Africa, which was made during a meeting between the two leaders at the White House. Mahama argued that the claims disregarded the legacy of colonization and apartheid, under which millions of black South Africans suffered systematic oppression, displacement, and death. In quote, "It is not enough to be affronted by these claims or to casually dismiss them as untruths," Mahama wrote. These statements are a clear example of how language can be leveraged to extend the effects of previous injustice. So ladies and gentlemen, Mahama is fighting for South Africa. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is fighting for Ramaphosa. Although Ramaphosa in the Oval Office was not able to defend himself, although he made some points that saying that, nah, this is not happening in South Africa. If it is happening in South Africa, show me. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, he defended himself to some certain extent, but as a president in your country, you should have made some bold statements saying that, Donald Trump, I put it to you that this is not South Africa, and this is not, and this image is not even coming from South Africa, but it's a screen grab from DR Congo. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what is going on. Tsidi Madia, I salute you. You see, you did a marvelous, interview at the Nation News, and I love it. Like, everyone is talking about it. Everyone is saying that you stood on business and you did what you had to do, and we are proud of you.
Actually happening in South Africa. Is it true that white farmers are being killed in South Africa?
It's an interesting way that you've asked that question. I don't think the issue is what's happening in South Africa. I think the issue is what's being peddled about what's happening in South Africa. If you watch today's engagement, let me get to the point first. If you watch that entire engagement, the recognition, the painful recognition, the startling truth of crime in South Africa, violent crime, was actually uttered by everybody there from South Africa. Is it targeted towards a specific group? Is it an ethnic cleansing? That's the question, right? Based on what's been said about South Africa the world over, at least people aligned to Donald Trump and Elon Musk. That's not a fact.
Okay, so we don't deny that there's a lot of violent crime in South Africa, right?
Across
Seven times the murder rate.
Across the board.
Okay, so the issue is whether or not, I guess, whites are being targeted disproportionately. Is that what you're taking issue with?
No, that would be the claim. The issue is that the claim is falsehood. White people are not being targeted, Leland. Nobody.
So when
crime is experienced by everybody, not just white people.
Was chanting, kill, kill, you have to kill to be part of a revolution, on and on. He was talking about killing blacks or killing whites?
Do you need the context of what that song is? Because you can't take out the context of what that is. That is actually important. It cannot be that he's giving an instruction when that's not the fact. I think we do need to take into consideration the context. What he's chanting is an anti-apartheid song that was sang by leaders in the lead up to apartheid. The back and forth today about that song is whether or not it's relevant in modern day South Africa. Should we still be singing that song? If there's a grouping in the country that feels otherwise.
How can somebody be defending singing a song that's talking about killing other people?
I'm not defending singing the song. I'm saying to you that's the conversation that's
So don't you think white farmers would be scared when they heard that song?
And that's the question that's being put to Julius Malema. I said to you that conversation is happening. It's put to Julius Malema that when you do this, this is what we worry about. But when you look at how long he's been singing the song and whether it correlates with the numbers of farmers under attack, particularly white people, it's not there. People who are being attacked on the farms are farm dwellers and farm workers. That's also a reality that's got to be.
White farmers are not being targeted, or white farmers are not being killed. Why are so many who have big landholdings willing to give up their entire lives to come to America?
Where are they? Show them to me.
We had them land.
Those 49 people are not farmers. There are plenty of reports from South Africa that many of those are not farmers. Those are chances. Please, again, show me the evidence. Those are people taking an opportunity. America's giving them an opportunity.
You're saying
they're not farmers.
I'm just trying to figure this out. You're saying that your president has not in any way targeted whites, even though Elon Musk, who was there, can't get a license for his business.
He was where?
In the Oval Office.
He was in the Oval Office. He's never been to South Africa. When was the last time Elon Musk was in South Africa?
But he can't get.
When was the last time he was in South Africa? His father, Elon Musk's father.
I'm not talking about when he was there.
No, hold on. I want to also make you understand one thing.
The accusation is that many whites cannot get licenses to do business, among them Elon Musk.
So we're being forced to undermine our transformative laws. We must be okay with a South Africa where the majority that is denied of their own land, where the majority is deprived of access to economic transformations and means of production. We must be okay and not move the needle in any way to try and fix that. We must be okay with South Africa being labeled the most unequal country in the world and not trying to do anything to rectify that. Because that's what that argument says.
No, but the fact that
there are laws.
The fact of the matter is
they must be bent for an individual.
No,
that is what the question is.
But if you make laws that target a certain race, don't.
But there are none of those. Where are those, Leland? You're calling me as a journalist from South Africa, and you're putting those to me. I'm asking you for the proof. Donald Trump today, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to lecture a little bit. Donald Trump today called us in there, saying he's got proof of a genocide. South Africa's gone to the ICJ saying that they believe
the ICJ is a whole other thing. They're the same ones who support Hamas.
But they put evidence on the table. They put evidence on the table.
South Africa supports Hamas.
It's not proof of genocide.
Yes, it is.
A private monument with fake crosses and not actual gravesites is not proof of a genocide. I don't believe that I'm being called in here to defend the indefensible. Those things aren't facts.
Okay.
Donald Trump did not put facts on the table.
You say that. We obviously have the president. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Africa, it's about time that we have to unite, come together, support each other. Because what we are doing, I don't know. I don't know. My audience, subscribers, I don't know, but you can leave whatever you think in the comment section. Like, what do you think is happening? Come on, man. African leaders, stand up. Bro. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video. And peace. I'm signing out.